Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Vivid Kingdoms deck of cards by 1000. So Vivid Kingdoms is, the deck by 1000. If you guys are just magicians, you probably have not heard of him. This is his only deck that he's ever produced. And he is an artist by trade. He does murals and he has his own YouTube channel where he talks about his murals and his paintings and all of those things separately. But he did a challenge recently, I guess actually over a year ago, where he designed a deck of cards. It was a Kickstarter. I received the Kickstarter about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I meant to make a video earlier, but there were some hiccups. But here I am, right? So his name is Peter Robinson, and he lives and works out of Michigan. But he created 2 decks, right? He created the red and the blue. The blue is still available, or at least it was, for normal purchase. The red was an exclusive to Kickstarter, and then with it I also got these 2 stickers. These are just an example of what his art style often looks like. So I'm going to take a look at the blue deck first. You'll realize that there's actually 2 boxes. There's a sleeve with these triangles and rectangle cut out, and then there's this design. On the back it says Vivid Kingdoms, etc. Right? On the side there's just a book, and there's art throughout the whole thing. And then there's his logo as the seal. You open it up and there's an eye. There's an eye right here. And I'll take these out of the box. Then inside there is some writing, which is the name of the leading backers of the Kickstarter project. Usually I don't start with the back design, but I'm going to start with the back design today, and you'll see why. So if you take a look at the back design, it is pretty intricate. This was all hand-drawn, I guess. It was drawn digitally, but it was hand-drawn from him. And you'll see that it is mirrored and everything, and you'll see 1000 written here, and a bunch of these different things. But for me, the back design has never been the part that stands out about this deck of cards. You can take a look at this. It's definitely a nice back design. But the thing that kind of was some of the selling point was not the back design for me. As far as handling goes, it handles quite nicely. It was printed by the United States Playing Card Company. But where the real craziness comes in for me is the faces. So this is the Ace of Spades, right? You see that the Ace of Spades is actually a negative, kind of, meaning that the Ace of Spades is done in white, with it being made up of characters going around it. And throughout this whole process, on his community post, which I do now have, or community tab, which I also do now have, and I've been using it a little bit, he would ask, he'd put polls up asking if you liked this version or that version, and you could engage, and he would change it, right? So this is the Ace of Spades, King of Spades, Queen of Spades, Jack of Spades, and you'll see I did not change this order. This is actually the order that the deck comes in. Then you get to the Ace of Diamonds, which is obviously not a direct like pip diamond shape, but it's like more of a standard normal diamond shape, real diamond. This is the King of Diamonds, the Queen of Diamonds, and the Jack of Diamonds. I'll reverse this, sorry. King of Diamonds, right? Then we get into the 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Spades. And these all have pictures on them. I'll put up an image right now. And then you'll see the 2 through 5 of Diamonds, then the 6 through 9 of Spades, and then the 6 through 9 of Diamonds. I'll put up a picture right now of them all in order, because you'll realize if you actually take the 2 and the 3 and you line them up, it begins to start a picture. Same with if you add the 4 onto it, you add the 5 onto it, then you can do the same with the 6 and the 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that is where the selling point for me was, right? And he continues that with all the suits. The same can be said for the diamonds. If you line them up, they make a story. Then you get to the clubs. This is the Ace of Clubs. Again, Very cool. He takes all his characters and he puts them within the pips, and this is an enlarged pip for the ace of clubs. And then these are the king, the queen, and the jack. Same with the ace of hearts, right? King, queen, jack. Other than the twos, and you guys can see just right here, if I hold the 2 and the 3, you can see that the cannonball comes from here, lands on the tower. But obviously, if you put all 3 of these out here, you'll see that the cannonball's coming from the cannon, or not the cannonball. I guess, yeah, it's not a cannonball. It's the catapult is launching this ball through the 3 into the 2, and it's just the creativity here is very interesting and unlike anything I've ever seen in a deck of cards. Because the story continues from one card to another, just like that, and it's very unique. This is the Joker. It's a dog. The other Joker is what I believe as a characteristic or a characterization of him, and I think this is a characterization of his dog. The 10 of spades. The 10s are separate, and the 10 of spades is this eye that you saw in the beginning. 10 of diamonds says 1000 on it, or it says 10 hun, which is his abbreviation, and this is his logo as the other diamond, or as the other 10. And then there's an extra jack of spades, and this jack of spades is actually holding the back design. And then there's a double backer, and right, you could interchange the jack of spades, but if you look at the first jack of spades, you'll actually notice that it's holding the 10 of spades. And you can see the eye and everything, right? So this is that deck, and I'll just briefly go through the red version as well. And it's a very, very cool deck of cards. It's one of the cooler decks of cards that I own because it's very much so focused on the art. So yeah, if you take a look at the red, it's very similar, right? He changed the red, and the red is also a product of him asking which color looked best, and most people saying blue, but other people liking red, so he made both. But he made this a reach goal on Kickstarter. It's the same type of box, holds the same images. There is like a new introduction of a separate color, and you will notice that as far as the colors that are used, it's like a tealish and an orange throughout the whole thing. And then this cutout, right, is the same. The box is basically the same. It's gold foil on the bottom, and then it slides out just like that. But it's a very interesting deck of cards, right? You see the art on all sides, and I think almost every single card in this deck, in the red deck, is the same. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the Jokers are different. Yeah. So this Joker is a characterization of his daughter June, as it says here, and then I believe this is his wife. Then there's actually an extra King of Hearts this time, and you guys can actually go watch his videos to describe exactly why. But initially he made one of his court cards something that some people said had a weird connotation with it, just like the weird connection of making one of them a certain suit. So he changed it, and I believe that's why this is here. Then this is a thank you card, and it says however long, right? So that's how much was raised: $2,143,826. For it to be completely funded, it took 3 minutes. This whole thing took place over 30 days. It's number one on Kickstarter, and took place in 2021. Right now we're going into 2023. And then yeah, the back design is also very nice. I don't know which one I prefer. To some degree, I do enjoy this red a little bit better as just a back design. But obviously the back design is the same, obviously, but the color is different. But I enjoy both of them. But yeah, this is this deck of cards, and I really enjoy it. It is the most artistic and unique deck of cards that I have owned. Now, with that being said, would I bring this out at, say, a game night and start playing cards with someone with it? No. However, you could say that about a lot of the decks of cards that I own, right? When I'm playing cards with friends or something, I usually just use a standard bicycle deck, even though I have over 100 decks of cards. And speaking of that, we're going into 2023. In early 2023, I will be releasing an updated version of my deck collection video. Made my first one 2 years ago. Sorry that my light just went out right there. But yeah, I made it 2 years ago, and it was actually my first video on YouTube. And now we're going into 2023, and it'll be the first video of 2023, and this is the last video of 2022. If everything goes according to plan. I believe this video is going to be uploaded on Christmas Eve. Might be uploaded on Christmas, maybe the day after, but I think it's going to be Christmas Eve. And so happy holidays for those that celebrate Christmas, or if you don't, happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you celebrate. Hope you enjoy your holidays. I surely will. And yeah, so without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.